USI Tech, they're a software company, so it's the license that you're actually purchasing, which is the robot. And this statement is, if you like, their mission statement: when vision and perfection come together, great things can happen. A new dimension in direct marketing. So the perfection part is the robot, and that's what we're going to talk about first and foremost, because they have got a robot that sort of de-risks FX trading, which is a highly risky market. It kind of de-risks it because of the way it trades. It's very, very clever, and it gives consistent returns. And then the vision was really, because what you're going to see tonight is an opportunity, an automated trading robot that up until November, unless you had £100,000 or euros, sorry, you can get access to this robot. So you're getting a VIP product for 600 euros for the license, and a minimum, you only need a minimum of 1,000 euros or dollars in your trade account. Okay, so you're going to get a VIP product for 600 euros and a minimum of 1,000 in your trade account. Now, I think it's important for you to know how we came across it, and we were introduced to a couple of guys called Aaron and Tack, and these guys had been tracking this robot for approximately 18 months and then decided to get involved in April. They tracked it for 18 months, seen the performance, which we're going to show you in a sec. We'll show you some historic data. And they got to a point where they just were looking at each other, scratching each other's head and sort of saying, look, we need to raise this 100,000. So they actually got involved in April, and they showed me their account in November, and this thing had returned 54%. So they'd made 54,000 dollars over, or from April to November. And essentially what they were taking was 7,000 a month and just keeping their 100,000 there. So you can imagine my excitement when I saw this for myself. You know, we decided to get involved. So the robot is completely trades currency pairs, and once you set it up, it is completely passive. Then the second bit to the business, which we'll go into more detail, was the vision because someone said, look, why don't we bring this to the masses, you know, so that you don't need 100,000 in your trade account. So the vision was really to put an MLM behind it. So people that couldn't afford, you know, to put 1,000, or they wanted to get their account up to 10,000 and get it really interesting very, very quickly, if you refer into this program, you earn from the sale of the license. And the very, very clever bit, which I think is extremely clever, is that you earn from the matrix, which is fueled by the spread of the broker fee commission. Okay. Now, what I mean by this, and feel free to jump in, Lee, if you want to, if I'm not being clear enough, because this is an extremely important point, is most MLMs, you have to pay a monthly fee, okay? And that monthly fee goes into the matrix, and that's how you earn your commission, all right? Now, what a lot of people do, they come into these new businesses, they're very, very excited, they get cracking, and then they pay their first month and their second month, and by the third month, they're not making any money, and what do? They fall out of the business, okay? With this, there is no monthly fee. So once you've paid your 600 license, you're in it for life, okay? So what that does is it aids retention, all right? So what that basically means is that because no one falls out of the business, you will get what they call overspill, people from above coming in the business and filling your matrix up. And you're entitled to earn off those people once you've recruited 3 people yourself. Okay, and that's 12 levels deep. Like I say, we'll go into more detail on that in a minute. And the last thing before we go into the robot and the trading is the matrix, like I said, is fueled from the commission from the broker spread fee commissions. Okay, so any any account below you, you will get a percentage of the broker's spread that they charge, and that's how it gets fueled. All right, I'll come back into that.
Two things I'm going to mention on that, John, just before you go into showing results, is that the first point I'd made a note on, which was the no monthly fee. The really important thing to get an understanding of with that is that also it brings about longevity. Not only longevity of people staying within the business, but look at the company. The company is not dependent on you paying them anything on a month-by-month basis. When you see those businesses, and we've all been involved in them, where you're paying a monthly fee, you ask yourself the question, is the company actually making money from their product, or are they making money from the monthly fees times thousands and thousands, etc., that they're getting in? There is no need for that here. The platform speaks for itself. You're going to see the results, and therefore that very fact that you're not paying a monthly fee speaks volumes about the credibility and what you should be likely to expect in the form of trading results, because there is one product. It is the software that is doing it, and therefore you'll see the results that they're generating are that good that they've no need to ask for a monthly fee. The second thing that John mentioned was with regards to spillover, and I've been always very skeptical about that as far as spillover is concerned, because in many businesses you just don't get to see it for the reasons that John had mentioned. People fall out as fast as they're coming in because they're disillusioned. I can tell you that I got registered on John saying, look, you need to take a look at this, and most importantly, get in and open a free account now, because you're going to get your position, and there are lots of people going to come in below you who are going to feed you with this spread. And I must have now, I don't know, 12, 13 people below me that I don't know. They've come from above, from John and other people above. They have to fill my matrix, which John's going to show you. And I'm now getting a percentage of that broker spread back to me that tops up my balance to allow me to trade in a better way. John, back to you.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And of course, Lee, you don't know who's coming in below you. I mean, I know one of the guys that's coming in below you is certainly going to kick his account off with at least 50,000, if not a bit more, and you will be getting some of that spread. So that's a really lovely account to have. So it's not necessarily, a lot of people sort of think, well, I don't know many people with, 50, 100, it doesn't matter. Other people do know, and they could fall into your matrix. So yeah, sign up on the link. It's a free to sign up anyway, and you're securing your position. Okay, so who are USI? Like I said, they're a technology based company that specialized in many years for the development of automated trading software in the FX market. Okay, so the technology that you're buying, it has got over 8 years worth of design, which we'll see in a sec. The guys behind it, the main guy, is J.A.I. Fernandez, who's a 65% shareholder. And this guy, he's been working with clients since 2007. Really credible track record, mainly working with major banks and VIP customers. Okay. And he's created over 100 of these EAs. Now, the EA stands for Expert Advisor. Okay. So that is the robot. And like I say, he's created over 100 of these in the last 20 years. All right. And then you've got Ralph Gold. And we can give you some links on Ralph explaining how the trading works for those who want to get under the bonnet of it, so to speak. There's no need to do that, but it's very, very clever and very, very safe. And what I like about USI is they do look after you. Okay. Like I said earlier, it's a highly complex, risky market, and they really look to de-risk this and give you consistent returns. Okay, now he's worked for numerous VIP customers, and he's consistently proved and provided with them a good return on investment. Okay, so just to give you an idea of the market we're looking to play in. The FX market is worth almost $5.3 trillion a day. Okay, if you compare that to the New York stock market and the futures market, it would take the New York stock equities and futures market around about a month to trade 1 day's worth of currency trading. It's a huge market. It's the biggest market in the world, and you can get involved for as little as $600 euros for your license, and as we said, 1,000 in your trade account. Okay, so very exciting opportunity. So when we think about trading, we often think about humans sitting at a screen, day in, day out, looking to make trades, and there's a lot of emotion that can come into it. If you're having a bad day, they end up chasing it. So more and more people are looking to go over to these robotic trading platforms where there's no emotion. They don't chase it. And the way that this robot is set up is it trades a lot of different trades, but takes little and often, rather than looking for the big scalp. They're not looking for swings of 1,000, 2,000 pips. They're quite happy to trade within a band of 100 pips either side. So that de-risks it for you, but lots of trades that you don't have to be sat at a computer for 8 hours a day trying to make these little trades. The computer, the robot does it for you. All right. So more and more of these major banks and investment houses worldwide, they invest millions and millions of dollars every single year for these computer-controlled automated trading systems, and they keep them for themselves and their VIP customers. Okay, how many times do you see, the rich getting richer? Money makes money. Unless you've got money, you can't make money. Well, USI have turned it on its head, because they want to bring this VIP product out to the masses and give us all the opportunity that these guys, unless you've had 100,000, have got involved with. They're now giving us the opportunity. So
I think it's important to emphasize on that, John. Your point is that you might be looking at this and think, well, these things are new. They're not. They've been around for a long time, and a lot of the big houses, investment banks and so on have developed and customized their own software platforms. And as you said, they've been using this for years, their own technology, but golden screens and the likes of. This isn't new. USI Tech is new in being able to roll it out now and make a decision to bring this to the likes of all of us. But this technology has been around for a long time. That's how, as John's mentioned, they've leveraged and kept this very quiet, have their own software. And there's tons of these robotics. If you start to look at it and do some research, let me tell you, there's thousands of them out there that claim an awful lot. The majority don't work. We've been there, we've seen a lot of them, we've even tried some of them. And this is why this is very important, because you'll see that you can sit and watch this until you're satisfied with the results as they come through.
Yeah, again, a really good point. A lot of these robots don't work because of the way they trade the market. Because with USI, the robot the license that you're buying, the trades are set to go off. I think it's 1/600th of a second in between each other. So if Lee and I started our trade account exactly the same time, they would be slightly different, because a lot of these robots, if they've got 5,000, 10,000 people all signed up to the robot and they all put the trade on at the same time, it does move the market slightly. And these major banks and these with deeper pockets, they will just trade that robot out of a position. So this is very clever, but a kit that doesn't do that, so they can't pick up the trades. And it's good for a lot of licenses. I mean, and when those licenses have all sold and everybody's trading, USI, to protect us, will shut the door on any new customers. Okay, so that's their promise to protect us going forward. But we're miles away from that, so you haven't got to worry too much about it. But as it says here, USI, instead of developing software for corporations and VIP customers, they've decided to turn it on its head and bring it to the masses, so everybody can have an opportunity to enjoy this robot. Okay, so the results is an automated trading system, as we said, offers excellent profit and opportunities for everyone. As I mentioned previously, it's 8 years of design and experience. It's not a new thing. As Lee said, robots aren't new. But this one particularly has got 8 years worth of design under its belt. And it's been performing consistently for many years. So in the last 8 years, more than 100 software versions have been developed and successfully tested and practiced and used. You know, the one that we're actually using has just been upgraded consistently over the last 2.5 years. So it's not a completely new one. It's taken the 8 years worth of design. They've been very happy, and it's just been tweaked for the last 2.5 years. So the objective was a consistent development of a fully automated trading software, which even smaller investors can participate. Testing of the software delivered excellent results, which you're going to see, and we're going to jump into some live accounts in a second, with consistent chances of winning. This is what you're purchasing. It's a one-time, lifetime software license for trading the FX market. It includes continuous upgrades for software optimization. So when we thought back to that slide where we saw the banks spending millions and millions, once you've bought your license, any upgrades that they feel necessary, that is at the cost of the company. So they've got a team of software development people and traders feeding data into this. And so any upgrades that they feel necessary, they're not going to come back and say, well, you know, we need another 100 euros or whatever. That 600 euros includes all the continuous upgrades, okay? So our software license is now possible for anybody to trade in this highly complex market with a minimum of $1,000, making it accessible to the masses. This is what the MT4 looks like. This is the trading platform that the software sits on. MT4 is the most recognized trading platform in the world. You don't really need to understand exactly what's going here. You don't even need to look at this on a day-to-day basis. I look at mine quite often because it's quite exciting, but you don't really.
Trust me, everybody's going to be looking at it. Won't understand it, but everyone's going to look at it when they start to see the results coming through.
They can see that profit figure. That's what they.
That's what they like.
Yeah. I mean, I just use the two tabs, which is a trades and an account balance, and that is it. I don't touch anything else. But the really cool thing is that you can actually download an app on your phone, and you can sync it to your account. So when you're out having a meal or having a few beers with your friends, family, or whatever, you can click in that, and someone looks over your shoulder and they see these candles and the trades going on, and believe you me, you won't need to sell it, because they go, what are you doing? And you'll say, well, I'm doing a bit of trading, you know, it's fully automated. Oh, there's my profit figure. Oh, how do I get involved in that? So it's a really nice thing to have on your phone, really quite cool, and it sparks up a conversation, okay? So that's a must. Okay, so the account setup's pretty straightforward. The registration with USI is very easy. That can be done in about a minute and a half. You can actually place people in your matrix if you want, or you can just give your link out, and it will automatically fill left to right at the highest spot, okay? Once you've registered, you can then buy your software, and you can do that through credit card, Bitcoin, or you do need to set up a to-pay-for-you wallet, which is pretty simple. You can fund that wallet and pay your license through from that if you want. And incidentally, and this is another thing that I really like about this company, is every Monday they pay the commission. You haven't got to move it in your back office from A to B and all of that nonsense that you often see with MLM companies. They automatically pay you direct. You'll get an email Monday afternoon saying this amount of money's hit your wallet, and then you can withdraw that money, or what tends to happen is the commission you make, you end up putting in your trade account because you want to get a bigger trade account, okay? So that's quite easy to set up, to pay for you. The Argos, or there's a different broker in the States, if you're in the States, but the one that I've used mainly, obviously being over here in the UK, is Argos, and they are excellent. And you can open up a trade account. It will take you probably about 5 minutes to open that broker account. Then you upload your documents, they verify it within a few hours, and then you can fund it, and you're ready to go.
Let me just jump in there, John, because for people that have not done that before, the most important thing to emphasize is that your money is your money. This is you in control of what you decide to invest into your trading account. So though I'm sure a lot of you understand that, it's like having your own bank account. So you're going to decide what is comfortable for you to attach the software to and trade on your behalf. As John said, a minimum of $1,000, but you are in control of that. So this is not sending $1,000 to USI in the hope that you're going to get it back. Some people have had their fingers burnt previously, in trading platforms and things like that. This is you opening your own broker account / bank account. That money goes in there, and you're giving the broker permission to connect the USI software to your account. But at all times, you're in control of that account.
Yeah, again, another excellent point. Because it's not pooled at all. This is your own account. And I had a meeting today with a friend of mine who's a property developer, and he generally has a float of about 100,000 for various projects he's doing. And I said to him, put it in this account, put it in your broker account. You know what you're going to draw each month that you might need. If it's 20,000 this month, you draw that out, leave 80 in there, and by the time you need to draw some more out, that 80,000 could have made you 4, 5, 6, 7 grand, So rather than have it in your bank account, like Lee says, it is your own broker account. It's just like having a different bank account, but obviously you use that to secure your trades. Okay, so install the software. You just need to download it actually nowadays in the back office, because when you apply for your VPS, which is a virtual private server, and you need that, incidentally, it costs about €15 a month, or €20 if you want it fully managed, which means they do any of the updates on the robot. But the VPS is a virtual private server, so think of it as a computer that's on all the time in the cloud, and you need that really, because if your robot loses connectivity with the platform, and it wants to close a trade, or it wants to execute a trade, and it can't, then obviously that will have an effect on your results. So you need it open at all times. So we recommend that you have a VPS. Okay, and again, we set all that up for you.
Yeah, don't worry about any of it. If you don't understand the IT world, etc., don't worry about any of that. We're here, or obviously the person that suggested you take a look at this is here to help you to get all that set up and running. And John's done it with me, and I'm doing it with everybody else, and so on.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, and then obviously fund the account, and then activate the trading software. The beauty of it when you get that VPS is, in days gone by, you used to have to download the MT4 and all the rest of it. It's all done for you. Okay, and once it's set up, it's completely passive. Okay, that's Argos, one of the trading partners, over 15 years experience. As Lee said, I think we covered that really. It's your own account. You can withdraw money, put money in. If you do a bank wire, you typically takes 3 days in or out, so it's accessible. Okay, so our trading software has unique algorithms based on currency pairings, and if you're starting your account with $1,000, you will trade 4 currency pairs. And when you go up to 2,000, it will go up to 6 currency pairs, and so on and so forth, until you get to 9,000, which is 20 currency pairs. Okay, and that does make a difference, all right, because you're having more spread of the market. It's safer to do more currency pairs as well. So it is worth trying to get to that 10,000 mark as quickly as possible if you can't afford to, fund it straight away. Okay,
John, I think if you've got permission to do so, when we look at the live accounts, we can possibly take a look if the owner of that account is happy at that $150,000 account that's linked into us, and you'll see what difference it makes, because it's by compounding. You've got more trades that are being executed every day, and of course then your balance grows, you're trading more, etc., etc. But you'll see that in just a second, so stay tuned, guys.
Yeah. Okay. So the trading software has no increased risk of loss under extraordinary market fluctuations. Remember, the first account that we saw had gone through Brexit. Most people in the market, when the pound crashed that day, lost money. This actually made money. Okay. And then you've had obviously the elections over in the States. So the markets have been all over the place. This is continually delivered profit, okay, week on week. So with a maximum risk reduction in a high risk market based on medium long term strategy with continuous chances of winning in the past up to 150%. Okay, now it doesn't need to be as good as 150%, guys. And don't go out and then go, oh, you're going to get 150%. If it produces continuously, 3, 4, 5% per month, most people will bite your hand off. But let me just share this with you, okay? Can you see that, Lee?
Yep, got that, John.
Okay, so this is one of the accounts we looked at when we was doing our due diligence. And like I said, before November 2016, you couldn't get this robot unless you had 100,000. So here's a $100,000 account that was deposited on the 31st of October 2014. And there's all the trades that have gone on since that year. And this is a year account, I think. Let me just get down to, here we go. So yeah, so this goes up to the 16th of September 2015. And so it's not even a year, actually. It's 11 months, isn't it? So your floating P&L, okay, will always be in a negative. So when a trade goes on, it will always be in a negative because it's going through the cycle. Think of it logically. If it was in a positive, you'd be in and out of it straight away, wouldn't you? So it doesn't quite work like that. So your floating P&L will always show a negative. It's the closed P&L which gives you your profit figure. So as you can see, 100,000 went in. The closed P&L is 113. So in 11 months, it's actually produced 113%. So the balance is 213. Less the floating P&L meant the equity in this account is 197,788. Okay, so quite astonishing figures, as I'm sure you'll agree. But what I'm going to do is, so that's some historic figures, but there is one of the guys in the group, Dino, researched the market, and in January he found something called FX Blue, and you can have this link. We'll put it in the chat, and you can give this link out to prospects. And what I do, and I use this, so I send them the data of the 100,000 account that you've just seen. So there's some historic data, and we've got a few other examples of that. And I send them 2 or 3 examples of some historic data. And then what I do is I send this through to them, and I say, right, what I want you to do is once a week, just click on portfolio constituents. And in here is around about 20 accounts, okay? And just pick 3 or 4 accounts or screenshot it each week, all right? So you've got accounts from $1,000, okay, all the way up to the biggest account on here is $150,000 account. Now this account, if we click into it, you can see it's 37 days old. Bear in mind, guys, the liquidity in the marketplace didn't come back with FX trading. What tends to happen about 2 weeks before Christmas, everybody takes the money out of the market, okay? And then about 2 weeks after Christmas, around about the 10th, 11th, 12th, then that money goes back into the market. So this didn't really start trading until about 3.5 weeks ago, okay? Because the trades have to go on, then it goes through the cycle. But in that time, it's made 5,928. Okay, so there was the initial deposit. All right, It's banked 18,000. There's 12,000 lost on some of the trades, and there's your net profit, 5,928. Okay, and you can do that on every single account. And I'll prove to you that this is synced, because this account I've actually got on my VPS. This is a $10,000 account. And again, this has been trading about 2.5 weeks, and it's made $293. And if I just click into that account, GS, this is the VPS. This is on all the time. Can you see that, Lee?
Yeah, I can see that, John.
Okay. So you'll see here that there's all the trades that are currently going off. Quite a few trades. Okay. Your floating P&L, remember, will always be in a negative. Okay. But then if you look at your account history, these are all the closed trades. All right. So you can see from there, this account has made $293 in around about 2.5 weeks, just over 2.5 weeks. Okay. And you can see how many trades go on there, because it's doing 20 currency pairs. If we look at an account that's got 1,000, then obviously there's less trades and less activity going on there. And this FX Blue, what it does, it syncs every 10 minutes with those accounts. Okay. Another way,
John's already mentioned with this, you know, if you want to look at due diligence, you know, we're not talking about being selective here, and I'll get John to open up the portfolio in a moment, showing the statements where everything is showing in green. But the thing for you to remember is that this is, as people are coming in, we're asking permission to connect their accounts. And the long-term plan that John and I have discussed with this is we're going to have around 30 to 40 live accounts linked into this that will be live, that you can give this link out to anybody. And that is the due diligence. If somebody wants to look at it and check that every day, as John said earlier on, that's what he's doing with a lot of people he's talking to. Just have a look at it today, screenshot it, then look at it maybe in a couple of days' time and in a week's time and 2 weeks and so on. And you'll start to see, and you'll see on the right-hand side what John's got up here, all the accounts that are down the closed P&L. You can see that every single account without fail is in profit. They're all different amounts, because some people, as you can see on the left-hand side, the balance has started with $1,000 minimum. I know a number of people that are in that list there, and I'm not going to go into specific personal names, but they've been good enough to link into the FX Blue. But every single account is making money. You tell me any other platform that you see that in, because I don't know it. And if you do, please let me know.
yeah, absolutely. And you can, you know, a way to tell, I'm just trying to remember, but you can dig into the stats as much as you want, but the main, that's it there, the main tab is that portfolio constituents, and you can watch that and take screenshots. And as Lee says, they're all in profit, okay? And they're all typically about 2.5 weeks on average. I mean, there's some new accounts that have come in. But, you know, can you imagine, Lee, what this is going to look like in 3 months' time?
Yeah, it's crazy, because, you know, the compounding effect, if everybody is wanting to grow and get to that $10,000 threshold, in case you didn't pick that up, the minute that you get to $10,000 as a trading balance, you're entitled to 20 currency pairs per day, and suddenly the numbers of trades that you have working on your behalf per day increases massively. Therefore, your return on investment increases massively, which goes back into your trading balance, and so it goes round and round and round. And that number that you see, if you look at that link, because we're going to keep that link live ongoing, will get incredibly substantial.
It's completely transparent, guys. You know, if you've been in different programs before, and you know you've had your fingers burnt or whatever, you can sit and watch that to your heart's content. And a bit like Tack and Aaron, they sat and watched it for 18 months, and it was 100,000 they had to come up with, and they decided to raise that money because it was giving consistent returns. So this compensation plan, for me, is one of the fairest compensation plans that I've come across. And you know, you might need to watch this a couple of times to really get it, but it is once you've got it, it's pretty simple. So just some of the compensation plan benefits. Like I say, the low lifetime license fee, €600, which once you've paid that, you're in the business for life, which really does encourage, or you will see overspill in this business. You know, don't rely on it. Go and do your bit as well, you know, but you will see overspill. No monthly payments, as Lee's mentioned. So obviously high downline retention rates, as we mentioned. All right. So no monthly payments they don't rely on the money, and it's fueled through the broker fees. Once you're qualified, 3 direct license, that's it. All you need to do is introduce 3 people. Don't need to do it day one. You can get involved, watch the trade, get your confidence up with it, then talk to some people, get them on one of the hangouts, and go from there. Okay. But once you have got 3 direct people that have bought the license, you remain qualified for life. And again, there's not many MLM compensation plans out there that do a lifetime qualification. Normally, it's every single month you need to find 3 people at least, or you need to sell a certain amount of product, etc., etc. This is, you know, find your 3, you're done. Qualified members earn all. Once you're qualified, you earn 12 levels deep from day one, and then there's a new coded bonus, which is a career plan where you can earn even more money if you are one of those people that do want to build a big team. Okay.
I just had to laugh there, John. I've got calls coming in from people in London. Somebody in Paris has just tried to get hold of me or watching at the moment. They're not going to wait. They want to get started. My phone's blowing up on the left-hand side. Sorry, carry on, John.
Good stuff. Excellent. Okay, so there's 5 ways to get paid. Commissions from direct license fee sales. Okay, so anybody you introduce. And then commissions from indirect license fees sales. So people that get introduced or fall into your downline, you get commission from them also. The third way is direct matrix commission funded by the broker fees, which is the really excited bit. I can't wait to show you that. And then the fourth way is indirect matrix commissions funded from broker fees, and the fifth way, coded bonuses. Okay, so what do you receive? If you sell a €600 license, you will receive a minimum of €120 from any direct out of the €600 license software sale. For you indirect people that get dropped in, 12 levels deep, you'll receive €12.50. Now, again, on a matrix that's 12 levels deep, generally speaking, on the 12th level, you'll be lucky to receive the 50 cents. You're still getting €12.50 on 12 levels deep. Okay. You receive €25 from every €100 received from your broker fees for your direct team. So they've just taken a figure. So on a 100 fee commission spread that the broker charges, €25 of that goes into your matrix, 12 levels deep. For indirect, you get €6.25. Okay, don't worry about too much until you see the table and how that all fits.
Yeah, the table makes everything perfectly clear. This is a lot to take in, but when you see the table and what it does, it's a real eye opener. So stay with us.
Okay, so €6.25 from every 100 received from indirect. So if people are thinking, what is a 3x3 matrix? It's very, very simple. That green figure at the top is me. And I bought 2 directs, 2 oranges into the business. And then somebody, Lee above me here, has kindly, he's already got his 3, he's dropped someone in my line. So I've got a spillover there. And then I've recruited my 3rd person. I can't put him in my 3rd space here because it's been filled very kindly from Lee. So I put him in here. So this guy here is essentially, if he looks at his matrix, that would be blue in his matrix because he's got a spillover from me. Then a couple more drop down and so on and so forth. Okay. So that's how spillover is created. It's a 3x3 matrix, 3 on your first level, 9, 27, 81, 243, etc., etc. Okay. So let's have a look at the license fee commission breakdown. Okay, you've got, of the 600 euros, you will receive 120 for a direct. If it's an indirect, 150 of the 600. So effectively, sorry, 120 of that 600 goes directly to you. Of that 600, 150 gets paid into the matrix 12 levels deep. So if you divide 150 by 12, it works out 1250. Okay, so that's how the matrix gets fueled from commissions on license fees.
And that's how this is completely sustainable. If you don't understand anything other than the fact that the company is taking a large percentage, 270 euros out of the 600, as it says there on the slide, and feeding it back as a thank you to everybody. No monthly, just the initial license that you buy, and it's fed back into the matrix.
Yeah, and when you look at the coded bonuses, you'll see how generous the company is being, because, you know, at that point, obviously with no coded bonuses, the company are keeping 330. But as you go through and look at some of these coded bonuses, most of that 600, the majority of that 600 gets paid back to us. Okay, so this is the broker fee commission breakdown. This is the reoccurring fees. So the license fees are one-offs. This is the real residual bit. Okay, so on 100 broker fee that comes in, 25% to the direct sponsor, so that's 25 euros, and then 75% will go into your matrix. Okay, again, 12 levels deep. So again, 75 euros divided by 12 gives you that 625. Yeah, that we saw earlier. Okay, so this is the coded bonuses for those that want to grow big teams. Let me just get that up on the screen. So essentially, they call them rooms. So in level 1, you will receive an extra 50 euros. Okay, so instead of getting 120 euros on a license fee, you will receive 170 euros once you've got 3 people sponsored. So your commission will go from 120 to 170. Okay, then that room shuts, and you then need to get another new 3 people if you want to go into level 2, where you'll get an additional 40 euros. So that's the 40 euros plus the 50 plus the 120. Okay, and within that, 12 new partners, which can be overspill. Okay, so that actually gives you 210, and so on and so forth. Again, another 3 new people, extra 30, another 3 people, an extra 20. So if you add that up, that's another 140 plus the 120 that you'll get on any license fee sold. Okay, and then they go round again. Generation 1, if you repeat 1 to 4, generation 2, repeat 1 to 4, and so on and so forth, an extra 10 euros. Okay, so that's for people that want to grow a big business. And you can see here, you know, down on there, the level 1, 2, 3, 4, the extra 50, 40, and so on and so forth. So they've been very, very generous. In fact, so there's a maximum of 390 euros per license. So the company only keep 210 of that 600. Okay.
Let me just break this down as a question that some of you may have is why? Why are they doing this? Well, why does any business have to market their product? There's 2 ways of doing it. You either go to spending a phenomenal amount of money on PPC, Google, TV advertising, radio advertising, like many national organizations and international brands, or you go down a networking route. There are two methods to market. And any business makes a decision which way they want to go. So all that's happening here is, rather than taking a budget, and let's say that budget was 30% of your revenue from the license fee, and spending it on TV advertising, whatever the media is going to be, to bring in new customers, USI have decided to go the other way and take that budget and pass it back to the very people that understand the business better than anybody else. For me, it's a very logical thing to do. If people are having a massive success with a product and they understand it, who is better placed to explain that to anybody else than those very individuals? And therefore, they're making that thank you payment from the budget they've allocated.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So this is the we're one slide off the really exciting slide coming up. This is what you can earn from the license fee. So you've got your 3 in. Obviously, you'd earn 120 for each of those licenses. Okay, but let's say you didn't ever recruit anybody else, but these people started dropping into your business. Okay, so once you've had 729 people in your business, you would have earned a one-time commission of 9,112 euros just from those people being dropped into your business from other people above. Okay, a full matrix, obviously, that would give you what's that? 6.6 million. So you know, there's an awful lot of commission you can hear.
Well, these numbers are staggering and almost unbelievable. But let me tell you, I mean, I've been in a very short period of time. And if you look at the first figure that John gave you, 729 people. That's not people that you're bringing in. Let me just emphasize that. John's not saying that. These are people that come in an indirect manner that are placed by the likes of me and John and so on, from above you, placed into below you, and your matrix has to fill. It's 3 by 3, so they've got to go in the first available slot, left to right. And I've got plenty of that spillover already occurring, and that'll continue to build because of retention, as John explained earlier on in the presentation. But 729 people coming into this business is not a lot of people. And look at the commission, over $9,000 for doing nothing other than getting registered and referring 3 people to qualify yourself.
Yeah, and 729 people, you know, even if it took you, you know, 8 months to a year to see that, it's still a phenomenal income. But this is where it really gets interesting. This is the broker fee commission. And this example is actually based on an average account having 2,000. Okay. Now, you saw in FX Blue, if you worked out the average, it's considerably more. You only need, you know, that big account obviously blows it out completely, 150,000. But, you know, let's assume that it's 2,000 and you had that 729 people in your business. Okay. The average broker fee share, and this is being understated by about half, I've been told, but let's take it at it as what it's showing on the screen. That will give you a residual monthly income of 2,281 euros per month. Now, what do you think you're going to be doing with that 2,200 after you've perhaps booked a holiday? You're probably going to put it in your trade account. So within 2 or 3 months, you're not going to have a 2,000 trade account. You can have a 10,000 euro trade account. So even if you take this figure, which is understated, and let's say the average in your downline, because someone could quite easily come in and put 150 grand trade account underneath you. You don't know them, but you can benefit from that. But let's just say that, you know, the average is 10,000. You're not looking at a residual income of 2,281 anymore. You're looking at a residual, can't even say it now. I'm getting so excited. Residual income of over 11,000 euros per month. And that's not pie in the sky. You know, I've already had, and I was talking to Lee before we came on this hangout, I've already had this week 3 people say to me that one started off with a 2,000, and then there was 2 people that started off with a 1,000 account. So I've already had 3 people say, can I put more money in? Okay. So one's put 6 in and the other 2 have put another 5 in. So already those 3 accounts, which was an average of, 1,300, the average now is what? 6,000, 7,000, 8,000.
Yeah, I mean, I've got, John, as you know, I mean, I've got 3 people that I don't know that have come from above, spill over, now sitting below me. And between those 3 people, they've got over $32,000 in their 3 accounts as a cumulative total. So there's, you know, over 10,000 each on average. And if you're struggling to grasp this, this is the massive win. The bit that you need to understand is on the screen in front of you here. Why? Well, very simply, because it's all about the number of people you have below you. It's all about when you decide to go in and register for free. Just think about that for the moment, because if you get registered today and there's 30 people that come in tomorrow, I'm not saying they're all going to be below you, but you've got a much greater chance of having those people underneath you in your matrix than if you don't register till sometime next week. And it's about registration. And it may be that you don't have the money to buy the license this week. It may be that you don't have the money to go into your broker account. That doesn't matter. You want to get your place locked in for free. That's the most important thing, because thereafter, people will still go into your matrix, even if your account is not live. You won't start earning from them until your account is live, but they will have to go in underneath you in various orders, left to right, as we've said. And you tell me another business where you've only got to find 3 people to qualify for life, and then let the rest of us go to work. And let me tell you, I know what John's doing. I know what I'm doing. I know what a number of other leaders are going to be doing in bringing a lot of people that have to go into the matrix, that have to start filling your slots, that will, over a period of time, give you that 243 people below you, or the 729 below you, that are going to pay you from the broker's fees a residual amount of money every month. And that amount of money, as John said, will compound, because everybody's account is going to continue to grow. So that amount of money, that residual, will grow month in and month out, providing the trading results continue to be as successful as we've already seen over the last year.
That's absolutely correct. I mean, you know, we talk about 729 people having a 10,000 trade account, but, you know, within 2 years or so, they might have a 50,000 trade accounts. You know, you could times that again at 11,000 by 5. The figures are amazing, really. By just getting in now, sign up, like Lee said, on a free account, and you'll see people coming into your business and want to get involved. Okay, even at that 243, can you imagine if that 243 they had a 10,000 trade account? You know, you're looking at 5 times that. That's 35. You know, nearly 4, you know, pushing on towards the 4,000 a month residual. But we've only been in the business and working the business since November, and we've already got half of that amount, just over half of that amount in our business. You know, there's not enough hours in the day at the moment.
There isn't. And remember, it's not about you. You may be sitting there thinking, well, I don't know those people. It's not about you. You've just got to find the 3 over a period of time. We'll do the rest. And we've got some very, very exciting tools for those of you that would like to do it in an autopilot way. I'm not going to go into detail today because I don't want to lengthen this out too much, but we've got a fully coded website that you don't even need to explain this to it. This very presentation you're watching today will be on that website. You'll be able to give somebody a simple link to go and watch it. They'll click a button, open a free account, and be in your business before you know what's happened. And those are the tools that we're going to be rolling out to allow people to scale this up, so that this is very much a team effort, and it's something about giving back. We're going to enable people. All you've got to do is get 3. We're going to help you get that 3 if you need it. And after that, the figures that you start to see below you will build up. As John's already said, they've already got half of the 243 since November.
Yeah, I mean, and you've had Christmas in between and all the rest of it. It is absolutely flying. Okay, so that is pretty much it, Lee. I don't know if there's any questions or anything.
No, I don't think we've got any questions to answer. I've got a lot of calls. What I would suggest that you do, and please, for those, and there's plenty of you still here, because we've got this out not only on YouTube, but various other website platforms all over the world, please do yourself a huge favor. Even if you are skeptical, there's no reason to be, even if you're not ready, what you need to do, trust me on this, is you need to get back to the person that asked you to look at this presentation, ask them for their link, and get registered completely free of charge. There is no credit cards needed. There's nothing like that. You just go in with their link, register. I think it's name, email address, and you are done. Better still, that ask them to actually send you an invitation and put you specifically in that matrix where they'd like to place you. So you're in a good position. You'll get an email and it'll ask you just to click on the link and get registered. Why? Well, very simply for the reasons we've already clarified, that everybody else that is doing that will either come in above you or below you. Which do you want? It's free. Get your position locked in, then sit back and watch if you wish to. Use the link we've put up in the chat on the right hand side. If for some reason you can't see the chat, drop us a message or drop the person that invited you to watch this presentation a message, and make sure that you watch that repeatedly over the coming days, 2 or 3 weeks if you want, before you decide that you're comfortable to come in. There's no pressure, but what there is pressure on, no pressure to fund your account, no pressure to buy your license, but there is time-sensitive pressure to get locked into the matrix free of charge. So that's my advice to you. Take it or leave it. We can't do any more. I hope that you've enjoyed the presentation that we've shown you. We are here to help you with tools or advice or setting the account up. We're not expecting you to know your way around it. And let me tell you, John has spent a massive amount of time, I'm just dropping back onto my screen, with people, including myself, to ensure that we understood how to get up and set up quickly and in the right way. And I promise you that that's what we're going to do for everybody moving forward. Let me just recap. There are no monthly fees. There are no products, no potions and lotions to buy. You don't have to be online. You can be anywhere in the world. You can sit back and take as long as you want to do your due diligence, watching live accounts, the people that we're bringing in, and those accounts will increase in numbers. We currently have somewhere in the region of 15. There'll be up to 35 or 40 live accounts that you can watch repeatedly going forward until you're satisfied that you want to get started. If you have any questions whatsoever, please make sure that you reach out to either John or myself or the very person that invited you here to watch this. And what I can say is that once this is broadcast on our new website that we're building, there will be 2 buttons underneath here. One will be a free account button, and the other one will be a button to click a one-to-one private call to take a look in the back office, maybe look at our own personal accounts. The first thing you want to be doing, and it's not now because it's not there, but if you do look down and see a free account button, please make sure you click it now. That'll take you into the very person that invited you here, their business, to make sure that they get rewarded with that initial thank you payment from USI. And then click, once you've done that and set your account up free of charge, please click the book one-to-one and book a call with them or reach out to them and make sure that they help you get set up in the right way.